Many of us have heard about the REINS Act, and this amendment before you is that. And I want to specifically thank our colleague, Congresswoman Kat Cammack. As many of us know, Congresswoman Cammack has been diligent in her work on this important piece of legislation over several Congresses. And I definitely want to commend her, honor her work, and of course her staff, her team work as well. This amendment recognizes the disastrous effect that overly zealous bureaucrats and their suffocating red tape have on the American economy. And it reasserts Congress's Article 1, Section 1 legislative powers by instructing committees to implement the REINS Act in reconciliation. And look, I just want to make sure we really think about Article 1, Section 1. All legislative powers are to be vested in the Congress. And Congresswoman Cammack's legislation would end this tyrannical and unconstitutional rule of the Washington bureaucrat by requiring that all major rules published by executive agencies be approved by Congress. And the bill defines major rule as one element, an annual effect on the economy of $100 million or more, a major increase in cost or prices for consumers, individual industries, federal, state, local government agencies, or significant adverse effects on competition, employment, investment, productivity, innovation, or the ability of American companies to compete with foreign companies. And this legislation is absolutely crucial to the success of the American enterprise and maintenance of the American dream. Since FDR and LBJ created the fourth branch of government, we've seen the strangling of the American entrepreneur and the rise of this oligarch among the bureaucracy. What do we mean? That burdensome regulation kills Main Street by closing up small business. In 1950, the Code of Federal Regulations contained just 10,000 pages. Today, it contains over 200,000 pages. And that's a 95% increase in just 75 years. There's a study from the Markup Center using a 2012 statistic that shows if we had kept the same number of federal regulations as we had in the books in 1980, the economy would be $4 trillion larger. We're about $29 trillion, be $4 trillion larger, which equates to the potential for $13,000 more to be in the pockets of every worker. And since then, 2012, we've had the excessive rulemaking of the Obama-Biden era, and would update that $4 trillion. That number today would easily show $5 trillion or more. And most of these rules were written by environmentalists and globalists and multinational corporations, and it's ultimately, it is strangling small business and ingenuity. And it all falls outside of Article 1, Section 8, congressional powers. There's no way moms and pop shops can pay the fees to retain a lawyer to help them navigate so much of a regulatory nightmare. And there are entire departments inside federal government agencies dedicated to suing out of existence small business. Decades, Congress has deferred its legislative powers to this bureaucracy. And these lobbyists are engaged, they write new legislation, and the accountability is lacking. Who benefits? Ask people back home. They sure don't see that they do. So this impacts trucking and airplanes and banks and hospitals. According to healthaffairs.org, 15 to 30% of all healthcare spending in America today goes towards administrative costs from burdensome regulations. We can do better. REINS Act is our solution. It's about re-engaging and stopping this catalytic converter that is choking out economic growth for this nation. I urge your support. With that, I yield back, Mr. Chairman.